Hello friend, welcome to BRiCS Embedded System tutorial. My name is Rajiv and in this tutorial we are going to learn about the hardware detail of 16 cross 2 or 20 cross 4 LCD display. So on this LCD display you will find that there are 16 pins which you can use to connect this display to any controller. Starting from this corner you will find pin number 1 and it will go up to pin number 16. Out of all these 16 pin number 1 is called ground. This pin need to be connected to the negative terminal of power supply. Next pin is pin number 2 and it's a VCC which need to be connected to positive terminal of power supply. Next pin is pin number 3 and it's called contrast. This pin actually control the contrast of the display. When this pin will get connected to the ground or the 0 volt, the contrast of this display will be at maximum. As you will start increasing the voltage, the contrast will go down. Near about 1.5 volt, you will find that the contrast of display will go to 0. So nothing will be visible. So just by varying the voltage between 0 volt to 1.5 volt, you can control the contrast of this display. Next pin is pin number 4, which is called RS. This pin is actually used to differentiate between the command and data. Whenever we send a number to display can accept that number either as a command or as a data. So whenever the value of this pin will be 0 or this pin is connected to the 0 volt, the display will accept number as an command, and when the value of this pin will be high 1 or 5 volt, the number received by display will be used as data. So using this pin we can control the data or the number which we are sending to this display. Next pin is pin number 5, which is called RW. Actually this pin is used to differentiate between read and write. So whenever we send a number, actually it's called write and it goes to the some memory of display. If we are interested, we can read back those numbers from display. So for for reading and writing we use exactly same channel which is there on the display. Just to differentiate between read operation and write operation, we use pin number 5. When the value of this pin is 0, we can write some number, some value on the display. We can send some number to display. But when the value of this pin will be high, it will be 1. In that case, we can read some data from the memory of display. Next pin is EN. Pin number 6 is an EN pin which is used as a clock source for digital communication. So whenever we want to send some number or whenever we want to read some number from display, we need to send a clock to the to this pin. So this pin is used for just for clock for digital communication. Next 4 pin number 7, pin number 8, pin number 9 and pin number 10 are actually called D0, D1, D2 and D3. These 4 pins are actually designed for the data communication, but the displays which are available nowadays are communicating only with 4 pins. So these 4 pins are not used for communication purpose. So you can assume that these 4 pins on display are useless pins. Next 4 pins are pin number 11, 12, 13 and 14. These pins are called D4, D5, D6 and D7. These 4 pins are used for communication purpose. Whenever we want to send some data, we can send those numbers using these 4 pins. Whenever we want to send, actually we send a number of 8 bit. So we send 8 bit in 2 parts, 4 at a time and 4 bit at second time. Next 2 pins are backlight VCC and backlight ground. So if we want to glow the backlight of this display, actually we need to give power supply to VCC and ground. on the pin number 15 and 16. Next, whenever we want to connect this display to any controller, we generally use 8 pins port to connect this display to controller. So while connecting, we connect the RS pin to the 0th bit of controller or the port. We connect RW pin to the first bit of port. We connect EN pin to the second pin of port. As we have to connect total 7 pin from microcontroller to the display, we don't use pin number 3 of controller. Pin number 4 of controller or port connected to the D4 pin. Similarly, pin number 5 is get connected to the D5 pin. Pin number 6 is connected to D6 and pin number 7 is connected to D7. So this is the complete pin diagram which we need to connect to between controller and display. In general, we can connect any pin to any pin, but this is just a general rule which can be used while connecting display to the controller. Now this is the board which we use for bootloader board. In this board you will find one at Mega 16 and one USB connector through which we transfer code on the display. On this board you will find a small 16 pin connector near to port C. If we will plug the display on this port, the port C of at Mega 16 or 32 will get connected as per this diagram. Similarly, if we are having a AVR 33 board, on this board also you will find a 16 pin connector near to port C of microcontroller, and if you will plug that pin to the display, port C will get connected to the microcontroller exactly similar to the last slide. So that's all about the display. In next tutorial we will learn how to write program for display to print something on some text on this display, and we can do lots of operations on LCD display. So that's all for this tutorial. Please keep watching our embedded system tutorial to learn more. Thank you.